I see a picture. Oh, is this one of those that starts to reboot? It's probably started to reboot already. No, it's come on and it's perfect.
If only it really was perfect. This TV's from the lockup and I'm trying to find out what it's doing there. And I've suddenly remembered I've got this TV that's got a pulsating cough line problem. Not a clock line, this is a cough line, chip on film. And after about 2 minutes,
it's gone.
And it doesn't matter how many times that you play around trying to block off the clock lines, it won't solve the issue because it's not a clock lines problem, it's a chip on film. If you look at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, misses some information off the screen, so you'll see a line appear and that will cause the TV picture to freeze and close down.
I believe the problem is on this one here. Now you would think that this chip on film is responsible for the right hand side of the screen. It doesn't work like that. And so what I'm going to do is, bear with me, I'm going to get a pair of scissors and I'm just going to cut the feed away from that chip on film. But I'm going to do a bit more. Right. Now the picture, I would imagine by blocking off, which I believe is that chip, the picture's going to be awful. There will be quite a few lines, I would imagine now. But I think this chip, I mean, you can't solder this chip out. It's just impossible, and put a new one in. You can't do that. You need machines that cost hundreds of thousands of pounds. I don't believe anyone's got one of those in the UK. But I believe now, and I'm just going to plug this back in. Right. Let me switch to the top camera and let me switch on. So several lines now, as you can see. And that's just caused by that chip on film not getting its feed. But I'm willing to say, and I really ought to put the thing back in. Bear with me. I've taken off the bottom of the TV set, and that's where the infrared sensor is. Look. So I want to put the infrared sensor back in. Okay, so now I should have access to control it again. I mean, obviously this is not a repair video, it's what the fault was video. So I've just got the remote control back now.
Let me give this an internet feed. I shall plug in the cable so we've got some sort of picture, and we'll test how long it stays on for. But I'm pretty confident that it was that chip that was the issue.
Right. Hopefully now we will have a picture. I've plugged the internet in, so this is just Samsung's built-in channels. But you can see the lines that are on the screen. But now I don't think we're going to get that pulse. I've disconnected the chip on film that's causing the problem, that's causing the pulse. I mean, somebody might use that as a TV, as a monitor. I don't think so. I think it's got far too many lines on. I just do. So I've been running this for a good 5 minutes, maybe more, and the pulsating line that freezes the picture has gone because we've disabled the cough that's causing the problem. But of course the picture quality is poor. Listen, there are some people in the world that would love a television like this, even though it's got about 20 lines on it because of that missing cough. If you haven't got a TV, then this is still watchable. And it's a very nice design. Again, it's so slim, it's so slender. It's a great 4K picture when it's working. But so it's not technically a problem with the cough lines. Sorry, I'll say that again. It's not technically a problem with the data lines on this that's going south. I mean, it's not a problem with the clock lines on this going south, which is why we couldn't do it with the paper trick. But it is that chip on film, and there's nothing much that can be done unless you want to set up a shop in the UK and have the very first. I don't believe there's anybody in the UK doing it. Well, there's not. I would know if there is. I think there are in China and in certain parts of Asia. I think there's a few people that are doing it. But over in the UK, we class our TVs and our screens in particular as a bit of a cheap commodity. It's a throwaway piece of electronics, where in some parts of the world it's still a very expensive piece of kit and is worth repairing. Over here, nada. And I would imagine every one of these sets has got a very similar story to tell. Just a shame. But at least I got the picture to stay on. Doesn't count as a repair though, does it? No.
But if you want to know what's the best thing to do with these TVs when you've got this problem, and as I mentioned, just about every single one of these models will have this problem, well, I'll show you what to do with it.
The best thing to do is to disconnect the main board from the power supply, which I'm struggling. Let me just get my screwdriver. Take two. Anyway, so you've got the just the power supply connected. You can sell the main board if you want, but I can't imagine there's anybody in the world that would want it, because most of these TVs will all be suffering with the same problem. And then you can just smash the screen and remove it, which I have done. There are some buildings in this world, some places where, I can't remember what they're called. Do you know, like there were these secret lock rooms? Well, there are now secret smash rooms. You can go, they may be called anger rooms, temper rooms. You can just go and they give you a hammer and you can just smash things to pieces, as long as you don't hurt anybody else with the hammer. And I think you should do that with Samsung TVs, and that's exactly what I've done. I've got rid of the screen. I didn't show it on camera because it's irresponsible, and I'm not irresponsible on camera. Off camera, I'm a real twit. But anyway, so now I can use this as a new light. Switch it on. Bing. There we go. There's my new floodlight if I wanted it, and I could stick it up there. But it's a bit heavy. But it's nice and bright. Or I can turn it into I can get somebody to do some artwork on it. Or I can just throw it away. Well, I think I'll keep it as my new light eventually.